A good Erev Shabbos and welcome to Judaism Today. You know, I always thought a remarkable idea about Shabbos. You walk into shul Friday night and you see all the Jewish people. They come in their big day Shabbos, their beautiful, sparkly Shabbos clothes, clean, pressed. You know, everyone is with suits and ties and everyone looks great. Everyone looks regal. Everyone looks noble. And this doesn't matter what you do during a week. You could be a plumber. You could be a garbage man, you could be a doctor. It doesn't matter. You could be someone who, is an athlete. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do during the week, come Shabbos, you look like nobility. And that's because the purpose of Shabbos is to remind the Jewish people who we really are. It's to remind us that we are spiritual nobility. To remind us that God cares about us and that God sees potential in us, that God wants to connect with us. The Nesiv Shalom says something incredible. He says, what was the sin of the Jewish people that Pinchas needed to atone for? It says that Pinchas atoned for the Jewish people when he did his heroic act of zealotry. What was he atoning for? What was the crime? I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to read it inside. Please listen to these beautiful words of the Nesiv Shalom. He says as follows, that his grandfather, the Saba Kadisha Mislonim, said, She'ikar mataras ha-Yetzer hara, the primary objective of the Yetzer hara, kishemesis ha'adam la'aveira, when it provokes a person to sin, hu hayiyush, v'rifyon haruach, it's when a person gives up on themselves, when they give up hope on themselves, when they're depressed, she'nofal b'hem achar aveira, when they fall, she'nidmalo, she'niskalkel ha'kesher, they imagine that their connection to God has been ruined. And they imagine there to be this distance, this wall that's separating them from their Maker in heaven. And this was the great problem, says the Slonimer, of what happened to the Jewish people here. Because what happened? This happened when Zimri did his terrible sin, this terrible act of idolatry. It was in front of the entire Jewish people, in front of the holy temple, in front of the Mishkan itself. And all the Jewish people started crying. They were wailing. Why? Because they were nisiyashu v'rafu yedehim she'ein ma lasos b'matzav, because they didn't know what to do. They were frozen. They were paralyzed. They were given up hope. They thought, what can we do to stop this? V'zeh haya pegam gadol b'kol Yisrael. The sin wasn't the inaction itself. It was that they gave up hope on themselves. They saw themselves as incapable of doing it. And only Pinchas rose to the occasion. Only Pinchas had the courage to do, because only Pinchas realized that you have to step up to the plate, and that God believes in us and we can do it. And that's what it says, Vaikach Romach biyado. He took a spear, which is also in Gematria 248, the mitzvos. And he took the mitzvos in his hand. And he rose to the occasion. And when all of Israel saw the Hislavos, Nigash Pinchas Lamaseyu, and when they saw how Pinchas conducted himself with energy, zeal, and alacrity, with boldness and confidence and courage, they shed their years. They stopped giving, and they started believing themselves. Because says the Slonimer, Hayishu Atzas Yetzer hara Hakasha B'yoser. The worst thing the Yetzer hara does is cause us to give up hope on ourselves. Sheyesh lo Yetzer hara harbe drachim liftos Yehudi l'mashcho b'rshuso. That the Yetzer hara has many tactics to ensnare us in his net. And the worst is when when a person allows yush to pervade their soul, give up hope on themselves, and think that they can't do anything. This was the great act of Pinchas. He reminded the Jewish people who they are and that we won't stand for this because we matter, we're something, God cares about us. And this is one of the enduring messages of Shabbos. On Shabbos, no matter what you're doing, on Shabbos, no matter what you're doing the week, No matter what your job is, no matter what your profession is, you walk into shul and you look like a prince because you are a prince. Have a great job. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Judaism Today. If you did, please make sure to follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, or check into our podcast wherever podcasts are listened to. And we look forward to hearing from you more.